So for those of you who just joined us, please put a here in the chat for me. And then welcome to this full-blown webinar, not a mini webinar as we've been doing a lot of, but a full-blown webinar on creating your Bitmoji scenes. So this is a really exciting one for me because I know that this is something that is, kind of like hit us all by storm since we've been home. And let me share my screen with you so you can see everything here. And it's something that, I mean, people have used Bitmojis for a while now, but now we're trying to use them in a different way. We're being a little more creative with them. And it's just blown up all over Facebook and Twitter and all those kind of things. So today we're going to talk a little bit about how you can create your scenes. I'm going to have you practice. That's why I made this webinar an hour and a half instead of just an hour, is because I want you to play along with me. Don't worry if you can't see my screen at any point while you're editing. You can always toggle back and forth, or if you know how to split screen, you're welcome to split screen to kind of learn and build with us. But the idea is that as we're creating these Bitmoji scenes, is that they should be something that's interactive for your students. They definitely should be something kind of fun and related to how you normally would decorate your classroom. So we lost out on being able to continue to decorate our classroom the rest of the year, but we certainly found another creative outlet for ourselves. If you don't know me, I'm Lori Guion. I'm the assistant coordinator for model schools at Washington, Saratoga, Warren, Hamilton, Essex, BOCES. I think I said that out of order. Well, whatever. But it's the one in Saratoga Springs. So I've been doing a lot of professional development since we've been home, and this is one that I keep getting asked about and people have been asking me to do. So I've been playing around with them for a while. I've used Bitmojis in my presentations for several years now, and they do add a little flair. They add a little character to what you're going to create. So I'm going to walk you through each step of the process, give you some best practices. I'll give you tons of templates, and like I said, tons of time to practice and try these out. At any point, like I said earlier, please unmute your microphone and ask a question if you want to know right then and there. If it's a no hurry question, throw it in the chat and I will go in and I will go through and check those as well. Anyone that has since joined us that hasn't put a here in the chat, please do so I can make sure that you get credit for being here. And I will try to take attendance a couple times through to make sure to capture everybody. So let's get started. You can see this one scene that I have on here. I have lots of different layers to it. I'm going to walk you through this whole process. For me, the most important things for me to have on my Bitmojis is some cup of coffee somewhere, because that's typical of me. But I'm going to show you how you can change colors, how you can create the backgrounds, how you can build these scenes. So the first thing that people always ask me is, how do I build a Bitmoji to begin with? So that isn't something I can show you here. I don't have a way to reflect phone up onto the onto my MacBook. I'd had one for a little while, but my subscription ran out and I didn't purchase it to continue on. So I'm going to walk you through the steps just verbally, and then you can try it on your own. But to build your Bitmoji, you have to do it on a phone or a tablet. There isn't a way to build it on your computer. So you're going to download that app and you're going to create your account. You could create it through your Snapchat account or whatever, and then you're going to follow the prompts to build your Bitmoji. And you can see on that little GIF that's playing off on the side, it really is a click and drag, tap and go kind of thing as you're going through to kind of create your Bitmoji. And I redesign and design mine constantly. Right before I got on, I was playing around with it again to change what I was wearing and to do different things. So you don't have to put on one outfit and be done with it. You can constantly change it and it updates pretty quickly. So as you're building your accounts in Bitmoji, just know that it's something you can fully edit. So if you decide to cut your hair all off, you can cut your hair all off on here as well. You change your glasses, you can change your glasses on here. However you want to do it, you can certainly create using that app. Let me just get those people in. There we go.
Lori, I just have a really quick question about creating the account.
Yes.
Because I first created one using like my private email. I think you have to use an email in there. And yep. Should we set it up using our private email on our phone, or should we use our work email for this?
I don't think it really matters, because you're going to use your Bitmoji through a Chrome extension, and you can log in on those on different, using different accounts. That's fine. I only have one that I use. I don't have a separate one for BOCES than my personal one, so I'm using my personal account as well. But I would say that's a choice that you can make to do it that way. All right. Any other questions on the app? I did have you put here's in here. Let me see if there's anything else. What app are you using to mirror your screen so well? The one I use is so clunky. So right now I'm just using the presentation. I'm presenting right on my Google Meet. So that's what I'm using to be able to showcase what I'm doing here. Awesome. All right. So that's how you create your Bitmoji to get started. You can really spend hours doing this. Once you've got one standard, you can kind of change it up. I change my outfits with the seasons or for different things that I want for the different slides. So how do you get them when you come to your computer? So I kind of alluded to that when I mentioned logging in, but you're going to go to the Chrome Web Store. So if I click on here, it's going to bring me out to the Chrome Web Store. And it brings me right to the Bitmoji extension because that's the link I gave you. But if you come right to the Chrome Web Store, you're going to see all the different Chrome extensions that you can have that are listed here. In the search box, you're just going to put in Bitmoji. Or once I share this link with you, because I'm going to share it all with you in just a moment, you can just click the link to get to it. You'll see the Bitmoji one comes up. Whenever you're finding stuff from the Chrome Web Store, you want to look at how many users and what the value of it is. This one has 4 stars. It looks pretty good. We know a lot of people are using it. I've never had a problem with it. I did uninstall it one time. It was doing a little glitchy thing to me, but that was, oh gosh, over a year ago. But it works pretty well. So as soon as you have it, you would click, or once you're here, you would click the button here would say add to Chrome instead of remove from Chrome. And then it shows up on your toolbar at the top. So all of your Chrome extensions are to the right of your Omnibox. That's what you call the place where you put your web address. But all of your Chrome extensions show up on the right of there. So the Bitmoji one is listed right here. If I hover over it, it says Bitmoji. Somebody asked me this morning, how do you get rid of one of the Chrome extensions? Just as a side note, if you have one that's acting glitchy, it's a good practice to right click on them. Sorry, that was not a right click. To right click on them, and then you can always remove it from Chrome right from there. Or you could just hide it from your menu if it's not something you use every day, or it's not something you need to have showing up every day. You can also click on Manage Extensions, and that will bring you out to all of your extensions. So you can kind of go through and decide which ones you want to fix or remove or whatever it happens to be. So just know that that's there. If you could all mute your microphone, that way we don't get any feedback. So if you can mute your microphones, that would be helpful.
Yeah, the old one.
Everyone muted. Got it. We're gonna mute her. Oh, she got it. Okay. So somebody said, oh, you asked how I mirror my phone. So yeah, I was using Reflector. It's not free, but I was using that for a while, and it worked really well to reflect my phone onto my Mac, but I don't have it anymore, so I kind of miss it. So maybe I'll bring it back sometime. But anyway, you go to the Chrome Web Store, you search for Bitmoji, you add it to Chrome. Once it's there, it sits right at the top of your screen, and that's how you get access to it to be able to bring them to your Google Slides or your PowerPoints or your keynotes, whatever you want to bring it into, that's where you're going to grab them from. You can also, on your phone, grab any of the emojis from there or the Bitmojis from there and save them. I know some teachers like to save them into a file in their Google Drive. That way they'll keep the ones they know they love, and so they don't have to search them all the time. You're welcome to do that as well. So let's create. And what we're going to do is I'm going to give you a copy of this. So I'm going to share this with you. And I'm going to walk you through the process. You're going to have view only on this one, but I'm going to give you an edit only on, or an editable version on it as well. So there's a copy for you. And then what you're going to do is actually click on my face. And what that's going to do, if you're in present mode, it'll go right away. But you can click and it's going to open up a whole other slide deck for you. And this is the one that I'm going to have you build on and practice. So I gave you some sample ones as you go through. You'll see a few samples in there. But this is where you're going to just find a blank slide that nobody else is using. If you see somebody else on that slide, pop to a different one. And then or add another slide in, whatever you want to do. And this is going to be your practice place. And then because you have access to it, you're going to have access to everybody's slides. So if they found something that you didn't as they were building, you'll have access to be able to grab those items to use for yours. So I'm not seeing anyone in yet, so I'm going to walk you through that process. All right, so if I escape out of here, yep, you're all coming in here. Go down to slide 4 and click on my face to get to the link. I'll give you a moment to get there. So I should see there. I see somebody coming in. Good. I'll give you another moment. While you're doing that, I'll take attendance one last time or another time. Awesome. Each time gets a little bit longer. Close that out. Good, now you're all coming in. Okay, so the first one that is going to be the one I'm going to work off of, and the second one is the one that you're going to work in. I'm going to toggle between the two. If you want to split screen or if you just want to listen, however you want to do that. So you shouldn't have had to register with your email to do that. You just need to be signed into Google to be able to open. Yeah, you just need to have a Chrome, have it open to be able to click and do that. I can put the link in for this one right in the chat if that's easier. I just wanted you to have both. There you go. So Lynn, just click on that second link and that should work for you. Okay. So as we're going through, just pick any slide like within the deck that doesn't have anything on it. So like I see a couple of you are on this one. Don't go to that one. Yeah, I mean, you could look at it, go to that one to look at, but pick one that only has one person. Good. I see you guys starting to do that. Wonderful. All right. So I'm going to, on my screen, kind of keep going on a little bit to show you how to do each part, and then we're going to build on each part together. So the first thing we want to do is build a background, and the background is your wall and the floor. It could also have a ceiling. It doesn't have to be indoors. It could be outdoors. It could be any of those kind of things. So if I go over to the collaborative deck that you have, I'm going to just add another slide so I make sure that I don't go on anyone that you guys are on. What I did is I clicked the plus and then I changed the layout to blank so I didn't have any words on it. On this slide here, and I see some of you duplicating slides. Don't do that. Go to a blank one and duplicate that one instead. On your slide itself, what you're going to do is click on background, and then you're going to click on choose image. From here, you're going to go to Google image search, and you're going to type in floor and wall. When you do that, different floors and walls are going to come up. Now you can change this a little bit. You could do blue floor and wall or yellow floor and wall, and you're going to get different options. If you want to make sure it includes a ceiling, you could do floor, wall, and ceiling. And then you could pick any one you want. Couple things to think about. Some of them have very deep floors and shallow walls. So you have to think about when you're layering your actual design on your Bitmoji, do you want a lot of floor space or do you want a lot of wall space? If I was doing it for a header for Google Classroom, I might want a lot of wall space and very little floor space and vice versa. So you can build this way. So if I grab this one, that happens to be a lot of wood and not as much floor. I'm just going to, or a lot of floor, not as much wall. I know I'm going to be building a lot of things on the floor and I'll have less wall space to work on. So I may not want that one. But let's say I want this one. Oh, hang on. All right, let's say I'm on this one and I love that one. I just want to edit out how much floor I have. You can always go over to insert image, search the web, type in that wall and floor again, and then go back to the image that you loved, all right, which was that brick one, which now I'm not going to find. I'm going to put in brick with it. And then let's say I wanted this one. So I'm going to pull this one in. And if I wanted less floor in this one, I could crop it out to be the whole width of the slide. Double click to crop out some more of the floor. Hit enter, and then drag that out to make it more brick and less floor. The biggest problem with doing this as your background versus using the background is when you start to layer, if you send something to the back, it's going to go behind your background. So you can do it, but it adds that extra little bit of, oh, I'm not really sure what I'm doing there. So I much prefer to stick to the background and do it that way over starting from, just having an image that I've overlaid over the whole thing. So I'm just going to grab a basic background. Okay. Questions on getting a background? I see some of you working there. See if there's anything in the chat. Oh, okay. Any questions on finding a background? I'm going to scroll through and see. Oh, you're all doing it. Good. Wonderful. I heard a ding. I guess if you crop it, you can save the image and upload. Absolutely. You can absolutely crop an image, save it, and then upload it up into it, especially if it's something you're going to use a lot. Definitely, I would do that. Plus, once you have it once, so let's say I'm going to go back into the slide. Let's say I'm going to go to slide 18. She's got a great background. If I like this background, I can right click and I can copy this one and paste it into another slide deck, or I can go up to File and I can click Download and I can save it as a JPEG. And what that does is it allows me to save that as an image. So once I've cropped it, I can totally save that slide as an image and then reuse it. So yes, if I want to crop it out, I can do that, save it as an image, and then upload it as my background. Absolutely great idea. Perfect. All right, so do we all have a floor? Uh-oh, somebody hit all of them. I'm going to hit undo to go back because somebody changed the everybody's to purple. I'm going to click undo until I get rid of that purple. So sorry if I messed up yours because somebody changed the theme. Did we do it all the way through? I keep hitting undo and I'm not getting there. All right, so pause what you're doing. Don't do any changes on it. I'm going to go back to a version that before you guys went on here, and I'm going to restore this version to get, oh, nope, hang on, we're there. Hang on. Okay, no, we're still purple. Yeah, you guys changed everything here. Hang on. I go back, no, okay. All right, so I'm going to go back to my original, and I'm going to tell you what whoever that person did. Okay, so here we go. Perfect. Now, on your slides, okay, do not, when you hit background, click add to theme or change it to that theme because that changes everyone's, okay? Just change your own by clicking choose image, grabbing the slide you want, clicking insert, all right? Do not add to theme, do not reset it to theme, any of those kind of things, because what that's going to do is change everybody's to be whatever you chose, all right? So we don't want everyone's to be purple, we want everyone's to be different colors. So start over, grab your background. I'll give you a moment. Good, you're all getting it back. Perfect. Now, what I plan to do, I don't know why you don't have access. That one is open for everyone, but I will give you view. There we go. This is going to be something that I'll use in other trainings, so it'll continuously be added to. So that way you have this as a collaborative Bitmoji background image kind of thing. So you can grab from anybody that's doing these kind of things. All right. Yep, I just gave you access, Janelle, so you should have that. If you weren't able to get into the collaborative one, I'll put the link again in the chat for you. Perfect. All right, now we're looking good. Everyone's coming in. I see lots of slides. I see you doing different things. Don't change mine. I see somebody in mine changing it. Don't change the ones that are already done. Take a blank one. All right. Don't change out mine. Thank you.
Can I hit undo, or will that undo other people's stuff too? To go back to
that will do. Yeah, just delete your person out. I'll put my person back in.
Okay. Sorry.
That's okay. That we're all learning together, right? Absolutely fine. Yep. I'm going to show you some little tips and tricks on there too. So yep, somebody changed mine here too. So try to go to your own empty slide. Go to a blank slide. All right, there's plenty of them. Or just click the plus and it'll add a blank slide. All right, and you can add your own in. So I put some samples in so you can see them, but not so you can edit those as you're going through. All right, so it looks like we've got background. Some of you are already starting with Bitmoji, so I'm going to keep moving on because I think you're ready for the next step. All right, so the next step is creating your scene, and this is where you spend the meat of your time. And I'm going to show you a couple little key things that kind of help you out. The first one is you want to always search for transparent images. I'm going to show you how to do that. If you find an image that you love, there's a great website called remove.bg that will remove the background for you. There's some image options I'm going to walk you through. And then I haven't used it myself, but some of the people on the Bitmoji site really love using Home Styler because you can design your own rooms using lots of really images, save them as an image, and then drop them into your Google Slides. So this is an extra step. I'm not showing you how to do that today. Just know that it's available to you. All right, so let me show you a couple things that we're going to do here. So I'm going to go back over to my blank slide that I have here. And I have just the blank wall and the floor. Well, that's just the start of this, right? So I'm going to click on the insert image, and I'm going to click on search the web. And why I like to search in here is I know that in here is a safe search, but if I went out to Google, I'd have to change them to be labeled for reuse, because I don't want to put in images that have some sort of copyright to them. You don't want to be doing that, especially if you're going to put this public facing where somebody would be like, hey, that's my image. I have rights to that image. If you do use something that is somebody else's, please link that back, or at least give them credit for it. But make sure that that's allowed before you do that. So now we've got our background. Most of the scenes have either a desk or a couch or something along those lines. So I'm going to type in couch, and I'm going to put in transparent. And the reason I do that is I want an image that I don't have to crop out the outside of it. So using transparent will work. Using PNG will work. They will help you with it. Is it perfect? No. Sometimes you have to use transparent background because like if I typed in vase and I put in transparent, it's going to show me glass vases. So if you say transparent background, it knows, oh, I want any kind of vase, but I don't want it to have a background. So I'm going to hit enter, and all these different couches come up. So let's say I grab this one couch and I drag it in. Once it loads, you'll see there's no background. Now I can just edit and do anything I want. But if I didn't do that and I hit couch and I grabbed a picture and I dragged it in, you'll see that it has this image around it. Now, let's say I absolutely love this couch and I wanted to use it. It still can be used. There is a way to do that. So let me find a prettier picture though, because that's not a pretty looking couch. How about this one? Okay, so this one has this great background, but I don't want it. I want just this picture. So what I can do is I can download this picture and I can save it. So I right click on the image, I say save as, and I'm just going to, nope, that's going to save that. I'm going to, what am I going to do? I want to say, what I'll often will do is actually make it the actual image, like put it as the whole background. And there's other ways to do it. And I'm going to show you that too. But here's one of them. So I have this whole thing. I hit file, download, JPEG, and it's just going to do that independent slide. All right. And then I'm going to go over to remove BG. And I'm going to drag that image in. So I just click, drag it in. And what it's going to do is take out the background and just keep the sofa. All right. Now you'll see right here, it has a little error that I need to fix. So I'm going to click into edit. I'm going to go over to erase. And I'm going to use my mouse to kind of edge along and remove that extra little bit that I don't want in there. I can make the brush size smaller if I want to make sure I'm really not messing with it. All right. And once I'm happy with it, I'm going to hit download. And it's going to download that image for me. So now when I come back in here, I can click and drag that in, and I have a couch that I can use that has a background that's perfect. And I might have wanted to fix this a little bit more, but I'm just gonna leave that one for now. Or maybe I'll put something in front of it since it's not perfect there. All right, so I'm gonna walk you through that process again. So let's say you found something else that you really liked that you wanted to use. So let's say I went to, oh no, I didn't want to select that. Let's say I was looking for a, I don't know, a table. All right, and I found a table that I really liked, but it had a background to it, okay? You can right click and you can save these images, and then you can save them, but you don't want it to be a web page. You want it to be an actual image that you're saving. So just make sure that you're saving the image somewhere else. You can also go out to Google, all right, and go into your image search, put it in table. All right, you go into images, and you can save any of these images. You just want to switch over first to tools, usage rights, move it down to labeled for use. So that way you're making sure that you're using things that are copyright free, so you're able to use. Once you find a table that you'd like, let's say, I don't know, that one might not come up well, but let's say you found a table that you really liked, like maybe this one. All right. And you can right click and save the image, and then you can bring it into that remove.bg that removes the background for you. All right. So there's a couple ways that you can get that into your scene there. So how are we doing? Are we getting couches in? We got nature ones. All right, looks like we're still practicing. I got a couple of you have couches in. So let's practice that for a minute. Don't worry about your Bitmojis yet. I see some of you got them in already, and that's fine. Perfect. Good backgrounds in some of these. So let's practice bringing in a couch or a desk. I'll actually do a couch and a desk so I can show you what that looks like. And sometimes you have to play around until you find the one you like. Sometimes you find it on that first shot and you're like, yep, that's the one, I want to use it. So you can kind of play around. And sometimes they're at a different angle and you realize, no, that's just not going to work for your scene. So you can always do that kind of thing too. Yeah, I guess I was going to try to make this into a desk, but it's too wide. So I'm going to use it as an end table. All right, so when I have something like this, I have this table and I want it to kind of look like it's nestled under the couch. What I'm going to do is click over to Arrange, which is on your top toolbar, click on Order and send it to the back. And what that's going to do is put this couch in front of that table. All right, so that's a good way to arrange it. If you picked a picture and you dragged it out to the whole piece there, that's where you're going to run into that problem where if I sent it to the back, it would have gone behind my my background. So that's why I like using the background better than I like using it in the forefront there. So, so you have that kind of thing. If you don't like it, you hit delete, you start again, and you can go through and build what you like. So grab a couple items like furniture-wise to put into your setting here, and then we'll build from there. I do find I like using round end tables better than I like using the rectangles. I find they just lay nicer, but that's personal preference.
Exciting.
Let's see if there's any questions as you're working. I can't get the insert image to come up. Any thoughts? Yeah. The insert image, Kim, in here, when you're on your slide, if you can see the screen that I'm on, you click on the image, insert image icon right at the top, or click on insert on your top toolbar, click on image, search the web, and then it will pop up on the right-hand side. Try that, see if it works for you. Heather, same thing. You're going to click on the little insert image icon on your toolbar or click on insert image, search the web. All right. You can also go out to Google, but it's more steps that way. And this way, you know, it's items that are labeled for reuse. Give you another minute or two to get a couple items in there. A couple things with your images. Actually, while you're working on these things, let's talk about bringing in the Bitmoji as well as you're going through. These are looking good. You guys are getting it. Oh, I want to be in that scene. Perfect. Very cool. I'm gonna see if I can get back the floor, wall, ceiling. Was originally. I'll put that one back.
Could you put
So
the slideshow in the chat again? I got bumped out.
sure.
Oh, thank you.
Yep. There you go. Okay. So let's say I put in my Bitmoji, all right, and I realized I wanted her facing a different way. So maybe, maybe I want her looking out the window instead of into the room. You can do that by going up, highlighting the item that you want to change, click on Format Options, click on Size and Rotation, and then click on Flip. And what that will do is it'll change the way she's facing. And you can do that with any item. So if it's not quite working for you, you can always flip the image.
Lori, how did you get your Bitmoji in there?
Okay, so let me delete her out. I'm going to go up to my Bitmoji that I have as the Chrome extension. And I usually search by pose. So I'll put in the word pose. And I've already changed her from what she looked like when she was, before. And then I'll click and drag her down. And then it'll put my emoji in there, or my Bitmoji in there. And it always puts it kind of in the bottom right-hand corner.
So you made your Bitmoji on the phone, and then when you put the extension here, it automatically connects. Like, did you do that? Okay.
Yep. So right now I'm in that dress. I'm going to put a suit jacket on my dress, and I'm going to put her back in. So watch how fast I'm going to do this. I'm going into fashion on my phone. I'm going to hit my jackets. I'm going to put her in a suit jacket. I'm going to change the color because I'm wearing purple in this one. And this is where I get caught in the rabbit hole that I start looking at all the colors and do different things. Because I want to make it.
You put the Bitmoji extension on your laptop, though.
Correct.
Okay. So that's when we were in the Chrome Web Store.
Yep.
That's when you wanted us to then do that step. Okay. Thank you.
Exactly. Sure. So now I had her just in the dress. I added her in a jacket. So when I click on the Bitmoji, as soon as I change it there, it changes it up here. So again, if I hit pose, I can grab another one of me and bring her down. All right. See, I just threw a jacket on her, kept the same outfit, but I just put a different thing on her. Again, because I have her highlighted, I can flip her to go the other way. All right. So now I got two of me in there. So any changes you make are immediate. They'll show up right away on the extension for you.
Lori, how are other people getting their Bitmojis in here?
So they're going up to the Chrome extension and they're grabbing their Bitmoji out. Did you download the Chrome extension?
No, I did not.
Okay. So if you want to download the Chrome extension, you can get that. It'll go right up in your toolbar and you can get your Bitmojis right away.
All right, let me try that. Thank you.
Sure. Again, once you have it, you're going to go into the Chrome extension and you can search just any kind of word for something that you wanted. Like I see some of you put yourself lounging on your couch or do different things. But what's nice about the Chrome extension is it does allow you to add words. So let's say you absolutely wanted to have something on there. So maybe I wanted to say Mrs. Guion. If I type in Mrs. Guion, it will actually add those words right to my Bitmoji. And then I can pull in any of those. If I don't like any of the ones that come out, that show up, I can go out of it and back into it, and it'll give me a whole bunch of new ones. All right, so then I can grab any of these, and maybe I want the dabbing one. Why not, right? My daughter dabs all the time. I can pull that in, and there I have me dabbing with my name. If I decide I don't like it, I double click on the Bitmoji. That's going to give me that black mark around it so I can crop, and I can crop out my name and just keep the dabbing if I wanted. Oops, I didn't do it. Hang on. Crop it out. And then I've just got that Bitmoji again.
Sorry,
so
I got distracted. How did you put your name on there?
So
I was in a rabbit hole.
That's why I put extra time on this one, because you do. Once you get started, you find like you're in your zen, you feel really happy. So you click on your Chrome extension, and then any word you put in the search box. All right. So if I just write hello, it's going to show me all the ones that are available with hello, but then it's also going to give me other options that are random, that are just absolutely random. So if I typed in Mrs. Guion, all right, it's going to give me some basic ones, and I could pick those. If I don't like them, I can go away from it, come back into it, type in Mrs. Guion again, and it's going to give me a whole bunch of new ones again. All right, so I can grab anyone I want. So grab and pull those out. All right, so now I'm sitting, I've got my name here. Again, if I don't want it, I can crop it out or just search for this image without my name, however I want it to be. So I double click to get the black bars. I'm going to crop that out. And then I've still got my person here. All right. This one might have a little residue that I might have had to take out, but you get the idea. So let me find another one. Maybe I want something, you know, with fire, because I put a fireplace in there. So I can grab one and see what this one is. Oops. There, I'm warming myself by the fire. I'm wearing sandals and I have a fire. There's something wrong here. Okay. So that is adding different items, and I'm going to give you more time to do that. But I wanted you to kind of see some of the ways you can do that. But I want to continue on because I don't want to run out of time either and not have time to go over everything in the slide deck. But please keep working if you want and just listen or hop back over. I'll go over a few things. I'll pop back in and do some other ideas with you. And then, you know, we have almost another hour that we have to kind of edit and do different things. All right, so I'm going to keep going here a little bit. So one of the things that's important for you to know, and please don't do this on that collaborative one because it will mess with everybody's images, but you can change the shape of your slides to meet different categories. And I'm going to show you examples of these. But you can go into your page setup in Google Slides and change it to be the classroom header size, a Facebook size, Instagram size, a Twitter banner size. These are guesstimates based on what I've done when I've played around with them a little bit, but you can certainly change them to be something else or different shapes and sizes. So how do you do that? Like I said, don't do it on either of the ones that that you're working on with mine because it will mess with people's work. But if I click on a new Google slideshow, just to kind of show you how you change your slide decks, the size of your slide deck. So I have a brand new slide deck up. I'm going to click on File, Page Setup, and then instead of widescreen, I'm going to click on Custom. So if I want a Google Classroom one, it's 20 by 5, and I hit Apply, it's going to change it into the banner size. This banner size works great for everything. I've used it for Facebook. It just takes a part of it. You know, I've used it for Google Forms, Twitter, you know, different ones. You know, you could just use whatever part of it that you need based on what you're using it for. So having that design is great because it just gives you that format that you need to create what you need. If you wanted a square, you could do a 5 by 5. If you needed something like that, you click 5 by 5, it becomes a square, and then off you go to be able to use it wherever you need it. So it really helps you get the right shape and size, and you can still design just like we're designing on this collaborative one. I just don't want to change it on this one because it will shrink and stretch everything and put things in the wrong spots, even when you bring it back. So pick your size first, and then start to design. All right. So if I go back into, now I have a lot of tabs open here. Yes, I heard a ding. Let me check, see if there's a question. Yeah, I will demonstrate how to make an image transparent again. Yep, when you make it a Google Classroom header, is there a way to keep it from graying out? Yeah, no, there isn't a way. That's what Google Classroom does to kind of like make it visible. So I don't really know what to do there. I would tell you to wash yours out as much as you can with colors. But yeah, it does give it that darker look to it. So pick light colors to start with, and that way when it grays it out, it'll be closer to what you want. I wish there was a way to do that. In Google Sites, you can. It will auto adjust, and then you have the option to shift it. but, back to the original, but not in Google Classroom. I wouldn't be surprised if that's not something that comes later, since they already have that in Google Sites. All right, so if I go back here, there we go. All right, so the other places I want to give you as far as resources go is I wanted to show you some of the places you can gather resources, and you can use these right away to start building those sites that you're building on that collaborative one that we're working on. So the first place that I go is the Facebook group. Join the Facebook group. There's over, it's up to 60, almost 6,500 members now. It was at 60 the last time I checked, so it's growing like crazy. But on Facebook, you go and you take a look at this site. And if you've never joined a Facebook group, they're fabulous. I do a ton of them, and they're wonderful because if they're well done, you'll see over on the right where it says popular topics and posts. People, when they post, will tag a topic, and then you can find a category. So if I click on this show more, you could see all the categories that are available within this Bitmoji site. So you can find lots of slides. You can find the banners and headers, some how-to, information. The flat teacher has become a popular thing. I know some schools are looking to do that for the month of June. When Mother's Day came around, I'm sure Father's Day will be coming around soon. There's Harry Potter themed ones. There's Star Wars ones. They have the starter ones. I mean, anything you're looking for, computer labs, STEM rooms. I mean, it's all in here. You can just click on whatever tab you want, and then you're going to see ones that people made. Most of these they've made available to you. A lot of teachers are just sharing them for free, which is fabulous. So for example, this one right here, this student put her makerspace as a virtual one. So if you click on it, it's going to open up as a view only, all right? So she published this to the web, so it's a view only. But if you hover over to the bottom left-hand corner where you have the options and you click on more, oh, this one she didn't. So sometimes they have it that you can actually edit it, or you can actually get the edit mode. So this one, what you'd want to do is save the link because she kept it as a one slide. So let me see if I can grab another one that can walk you through that. And everyone puts them on differently to give you different resources. So some of them, they don't want you to save. And so some of these you can see, like they're not letting you save these. Here's one that looks like they do. All right, so I've got this this link. I go out. Nope, she didn't do access right. So let me keep trying. Here, let me go out to all of them instead of the topic. See if I can't grab one. Okay, so here on the way she did this here, so I clicked on this link here in Google or in Facebook, and you can see she did one all about Mo Willems. So as soon as I clicked on that, I got do you want a copy of it? So I'm going to click make a copy, and then this copy saves for myself. So now I have a fully editable copy. So this is the ones you want to find. These are the best teachers out there. They're going to give you this all for free, right? So now you can call this anything you want. Like I actually wouldn't call it Untitled. I would have called it Mo Willems. So that you have this information. All of his books are here. My guess is that she put links to them. Yep, she put links to his YouTube videos right on each of these books. So this is a great one you can send out, and even a YouTube about him. So you can see each thing as I click on it has different links attached. So if I put this in present mode, I've got this to play with. Now, because I made it my own copy, I can take her out and I can put me in. All right, so sit. All right, and I'm going to grab this one and put me on there. All right, so now I have this copy. I put myself on there, and then I can change whatever I want, edit whatever I want, and then file it away in whatever folder I would typically put it in. All right, so I'm going to put this in the Bitmoji Scenes. Now you have a copy of it because I'm going to share that folder with you. All right, so that's one way people are putting them on Facebook. Another way that they're putting them on Facebook, let's see if this one opens up that way. Nope. And, you can't prep this stuff ahead of time when you're going through, because it'd be so nice to be able to be like, oh, this is the one I plan to use. But there's other ones that you can open it up and get it editable. But the ones that do the copy are my favorites because they make it super easy to kind of grab. All right, I'm not seeing one just handy here. But other ones, if you hit that little gear icon, it allows you to open up the editing tools. So sometimes you can grab it that way. Yeah, I can't. Okay. So I was hoping to find one. That's, yeah, it's forced copy. So this would be another one that's a forced copy for you. Okay. So that's how you get them from the Facebook group. Fabulous group, very active, tons and tons of information. Every time I go on, there's something new to grab. Like I said, use the categories on the right. Try to make a copy if you can. Sometimes you just have to request access from the person that put it. So if there's one you absolutely want, just you know, ask them if you can give your email address and gather that information. All right, let's see. I have so many tabs up, finding me is hard. Here we go. Okay, the next one I'm giving you is, I've been pulling some of those from Facebook, just like I showed you. And so I created a folder of ones that I've made copies from Facebook. So most of these are not mine, but they're just ones that I've seen that are available that you can take and use any way you want. My only request is you always file, make a copy. So that way you have your own copy of it, not the not my copy that you're editing. All right. And most of these are view only anyway for you. I also created some categories for you at the top. There's tutorials, which are going to be ones from either me or from other people. I'll put a copy of this video in there as well. Some templates, so ones that people have shared where you can grab different backgrounds, that sort of thing. Some of them are on PowerPoint, but if you're a Google user, if you open it up, you can click open with Google Slides, and that will open up as a Google slide for you. So now you have bookcases, lighting, you know, whatever it happens to be in that template. In the Bitmoji Scenes, a lot of teachers are creating breakout rooms. So here's a couple examples. Here's where's my Bitmoji teacher that that somebody made. I thought this was great because really you can file, make a copy of this, put yourself in there, and then they'd have to try to find you, which would be super fun to do. And how you do that. So if you get this and you see it's view only, you go up to File, make a copy of entire presentation. All right. And as soon as you do that, it makes an editable copy for you that you can now add onto it. If you forget how, they even told you how on this one. And then you could delete out the things you didn't want. You can add different links to different things. You know, you can always add some links that take them away from this so they kind of lose what they were doing, and all sorts of different fun things there. So you could have a little fun with that. And then the last thing I gave you is some videos and different ways to do the animations, which we're going to get to in a moment anyway. All right, let's see how we're doing on our slides. I'm going to peek at your slides here. They're looking good. Awesome. That one's mine. Yep, we're getting some in there. You're getting some different ones. Awesome. Good. Some of them are funny. Very cool. Oh, that one's pretty. Very cool. I love the robot on that one. And some of them I can tell who it is because I know some of you guys. So, all right, here's the perfect one. Somebody was asking about images, getting rid of that background again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this image. So sometimes what I'll do is save it into my Google Keep with the images, or sometimes I'll find this image somewhere else. Or what I often do, which is, I don't know if it's cheating or whatever, but I'll use Shift Command 4 or Shift Control 4, and I'll take a picture of it. All right, so I just took a photo of it. You see it kind of hovering over there. I'm going to go to Remove BG. All right, and when I remove BG, I can upload an image by dragging it right onto here, or I can click Upload an Image and find that image. So it just saved to my desktop. So I'm going to grab that image, hit Open, and what it's going to do is it's going to show me the original, and then it's going to show me the one with the remove background. If I need to edit it, I'll click on Edit. If it's perfect, I click Download, and it's going to go right there. And I'm going to go back to my collaborative. There it is. One here. So I'm going to assume whoever's doing this one will be happy that I do this. I'm going to delete out that one and slide in the new one. All right. And then you can do whatever you'd like with it from there. So now you have that image, but without the background. Super fast and easy, right? You can do it. Any questions as we're moving along? We got Facebook down. We're good there. Okay. The other thing, and this was one actually a friend of mine shared with me, and I thought this was amazing. She found it somewhere. But I just thought I'd share this with you. So this is a Bitmoji Classroom Starter Kit. So this amazing educator, Lynn Hare, made this all available for all of us to kind of take a look at. But what she does is she created this entire slide. And if I hadn't already made this whole work presentation, I probably would have gone back and changed it to look like this, because how cool is this? But on here, you have your background scenes, your bookcases, sofas, your classroom furnishing, people, and then examples. She's got it all on one slide that clicks out to other things. So you have access to this right from my slide deck. And then as you go through, she's got tutorials for you on all of these different slides on how to do exactly what she's doing on each of the slides. And then she's got templates and resources and different types of Bitmojis and all of her videos and educational resources. It's all here on this one slide deck. So you have that available to you from the slide deck I'm sharing with you. I didn't make it. This amazing educator made it for you. I did hear a ding, so let me just make sure there isn't a question. Oh, yeah, so we got a couple questions in here. Did that one. When you make it in Google Classroom, yeah, it looks like she changed the URL. If you go in and change, that's probably preview. Yeah, I could do that too. You're right. If I change that, I didn't think about that. Good thought. I'll try that. Is there a way to put these on a web page, or is it only for Google Classroom? You can put these anywhere, Karen. Anywhere that you can embed an image or a link, you can put these anywhere you'd like them to be. Students can use the links if you give them access to it. So you could absolutely do that. You could absolutely save it as a PDF. Yep, and you could just use ThingLink to be able to put it with all the links to work as well. And yes, I'm going to share all the slide decks with you again. I did earlier, but I will absolutely do that again. So really good points in here. So let's go back and look at some of these. So is it Daryl? Is that how you say it? I'm sorry if I killed your name, or Daryl. I'm going to show you what they were saying there. So if I go into Facebook.
No, that was totally right. Nicely done.
Thank you. I try. All right, so let's go back to the Mo Willems one worked, so we don't want to do that one. Let's go back to this sensory room one. What she was saying, if I go to the end, it's getting there. These are the longest ones ever. Okay. Sometimes if you remove the end, yeah, this one doesn't have that where it's a view at the end, because I bet if I change this to edit, it's going to lose it. Yeah. So that one didn't work that way. But yes, sometimes it'll work that way. Oh, I just freaked out my MacBook. There we go. Okay. So let's try a different one. Try it your way. Of course, now I can't find one that has a link. Let's go back up here. The Harry Potter ones were super fun. Let me click on slides. All right, so here we go. Nope, that one just opened up into view only. So here's a virtual trip to London that somebody made. How fun is this one? That one's pretty. If I like it, I hit add to drive. I put it right into my shared drive, so you'll have a copy of it too. Add shortcut, and there it is. Okay. So let's continue on. I think I answered your questions with the PDF thing link. Oh, so let me show you different ways you can download it, because you did ask me that question. So let's say I want to share this with students, okay? So I'm going to exit out of this for a minute. If I want to share this as a PDF with the links and all that, I'm going to hit File, Download as a PDF. And I'm going to do that, and I'm going to show you how that looks. So it just downloaded it as a PDF. It's just finishing up here. We'll give that a moment. All right. And when I open it, so now I've got my PDF. Okay. Now these links will still work. See, I'm still able to go out. So if you want to download as a PDF, you absolutely can. All right. So you can do that. If you download them as an image, it will flatten it, so the links won't work there. All right. And then somebody asked about putting it onto your Google Classroom. I'll show you that in just a moment when we get to that point where I have headers that way. I'm going to share those with you. So let's go back into that drive folder that I had here. And I'm going to go back into the scenes. And then I have one that is, now I can remember I think I put it in templates. That is the, where did I put it? It's not in there. I wanted to show you one where I can show you the classroom one. Thought I called it a template though. There it is. Okay, I put it in the tutorials. Okay, so this is a Google Classroom one. All right, so this is just one that I created that is the 20 by 5. I created a couple different slides just to kind of show you what they could look like. Like here's a Monday through Friday kind of template that you could use, you know, or just one big board that you could use, different Post-it notes, or even something more Zen, right? So let's say I really wanted this one to be my header, okay? So I'm going to click File, and I'm going to download it as an image. So I'm going to save it as a JPEG. All right? So it should have saved. I don't think I clicked it. Let me try it again. File, download, JPEG. Come on, computer. There it goes. Okay. So now I'm going to go into my classroom. And I've got this demo class here. All right. So it says upload photo. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to drag that JPEG right in. And then it's going to say, all right, crop it to the right size. So I'm going to crop it out to where I want it to be. Select as my class theme, and it's going to put it right up there. So like somebody was saying, it does darken it. Yeah, there's nothing we can do about that. That's just what it does there. You know, I realize I have a tree kind of covering the word, so I probably want to fix it again. But just know that you have that as an option there. If you don't like that one, you can do a different one, but you always have those as an option as you're going through. Where did it go? So maybe I just wanted this one. Same thing. I'm going to hit File, Download, JPEG. And then once it loads down there, I can put it up as my Google Classroom. That I can do that. ThingLink, yeah, you could absolutely make these in ThingLink just the same. And I'm going to share all of the templates and everything with you. Don't you worry. So actually, I'll put the link in now so I don't forget. And then you have access to everything. And if I move this over, all right, this is a little pro tip if you don't know this one. So I'm going to move over all the ones that I want, this collaborative one. And then I'm going to right click. I'm going to close all my tabs to the right. It's going to get rid of all those so I don't keep losing you on which tab you're on. All right, so you guys are still building your collaborative ones. I see them coming along nicely. Oh, that's a cool image. I like that. This one's awesome. Very cool. All right, so as we're going through, just keep going on mine. How are we doing? We got about a half hour left. We're doing good. Now, some people like to add videos to their slide deck. So I want to show you some different ways you can do that as well. So you can make the videos easily in Snapchat. The problem is editing your Bitmoji doesn't always align, and I haven't figured out how to do that. If somebody knows how to do that, share it with me. The video on changing your Bitmoji look, because I have her set as this. I can't change her. It just seems to do it on its own. So you can create these little videos into little GIFs. There's lots of ways you can do that, and I'll walk you through some of the processes. If you need to take out a background, so what I did with this one is I took a video of this in front of a plain piece of white paper, all right? And then what I did is I went to unscreen.com and I uploaded the video there, and it removes the background of my Bitmoji. If you have a green screen, you can do this a lot easier. I know that, but that's how I did it. And then there's another way you can animate your actual Bitmoji is using an app called iFunface, where you color your entire head, and then it animates it, moves it. It's not perfect, but you can certainly add your own voice and do different things with videos on that. I played around with it. It takes a little practice to get good at it, but it's certainly one that's available to you for doing that. And then I gave you a playlist on YouTube of my favorite tutorials that I've run into as I've been going through and learning myself. So these are ones that I've listened to or ones that other people have put out that I think are really great. That will walk you through some of the processes, like if you want to watch another person explain how to make your scenes, how to create those 3D animations. This guy is great. He'll teach you how to use the different apps. So actually, I'll click on him for a minute.
Solid Mobile just sent me this solar
let me just
wireless
get past
battery
here.
pack. I'm excited. Let's see what's inside.
Don't you love these commercials? Here we go. Okay. So you can see he's got, you know, he's got the dancing ones, he's got all the animations. He's going to walk you through how to do all of those things. And then he's got some resources down here for you for how to do the different Bitmoji backgrounds and different things. So he's a great one to kind of follow and subscribe to because he does some pretty cool stuff with video. All right, so let me show you some examples of those so you can see how how you're able to animate them. So I'm going to go back to my Google Drive resource folder, and I'm going to go through some of these with you. So in the tutorials, I showed you the classroom headers. I also put some other resources in there for you. If I click on animations, I put different things on it. So that little Bitmoji one that I showed you, that's just the MP4 in there. This is the iFun face. This is what it looks like when you're done.
It is super easy to create your own animated Bitmojis. Give it a try today.
So what you do is you take a picture of your scene or download that image of your scene, and then you actually color your whole head red. That tells it where to kind of move, and then you record your voice, and then you can change the voice. It doesn't have to be that kind of sound. It could be a robot sound. You can have your actual voice, however you want it to be, and then you save it as an MP4 right into your Google Drive to be able to put into your Bitmoji scene. This is before I took out the background. This is what it looked like when I was doing those different ones where you saw the one with the heart. This is how I did it before I took out the background. All right. If I want to take out the background of this one, I'm going to download it. And I'm going to go to unscreen.com. And I'm going to click and drag that GIF in, or that one in. Oh, it doesn't like that clip. Oh, I might not have it open to be shared. Hang on, let me check. It shouldn't matter though. Yep, I have it that way. Well, that's how you do it. You bring it down and you bring it back up. It just doesn't want to work right now. Maybe if I upload it differently, it will work. We'll do it that way and see. No, I don't have, it doesn't seem to want to be there. Well, all right, let me pull up a different one. So this is, this just happens to be one I took with a augmented reality app, just to kind of show you what happens. So you bring it in, and then it loads. It takes a little while to load. You see that it's bringing in the image. This would be your Bitmoji if I was doing this correctly. With all the animations still going, it takes a little while, and then it creates a GIF from that, that video. So this is going to be a no sound one because it creates that little GIF for you. So you can see it kind of loading there. And then if this is what I like, if this was the dance I liked, I can hit download and off it would go. All right, how we doing? Some of you are very creative. And you're quiet because you're all working. So a couple other things with Bitmojis as you're going through, these are great. As you're going through these is, somebody asked me when I was doing these one other time about students doing them. I wouldn't require your students to create an account on Bitmoji, but I have had some teachers say they've had their parents have the kids create their own and then send them to them, or you can design as many Bitmojis as you want and save them and do these. This one's cute. And Sora is my favorite too, love it. So these are coming along really well. Questions as you're building your Bitmoji? Okay, I will keep showing you a couple different things then, or you're all just totally enjoying building.
Lori,
So,
I have a question.
Sure.
I feel very silly, but I can't figure out, like I got the Bitmoji down, the Chrome extension downloaded.
Perfect.
And I can't figure out how to get the Bitmoji from the extension into my scene.
Okay. Let's do that. So
I'm sorry.
No, that's all right, because it took me a little while too. So I'm on my scene, which I've done nothing on because I've been chatting. But let's say I want to put the Bitmoji on this one. So I'm going to click on the Bitmoji in the Chrome browser. All right. And I usually use pose to find the full standing ones. Okay. Be able to do that step? And then once you're there, you're going to click and hold with your like a left click and hold and drag it out. Once you do that, it's going to load it in. You can also copy and paste if that's easier for you. You can certainly grab, copy and paste and do it that way. All right. Sometimes I like to make myself taller. Stretch me out a little bit. Maybe I want to put it because I didn't do that sofa perfect. I might want to cover that imperfection. So let's stay here. Let me layer a few other things, show you some of the things that I do that kind of help me out. I think a lot of you have already figured these things out, but I'm going to walk you through a couple of my favorites. The person that asked about the Bitmoji, let me know if you weren't able to still do it, because I'll walk you through again. But let me click on the insert image, search the web, and I want to find a window. I'm going to put in window and I'm going to do transparent. I'm going to grab a window. So maybe I want this one. All right. Now, this window can't really just look out into the wall, right? I got to put something else in it. Well, there's you know, lots of different great pictures you can grab to do something like this. So let's say we live in the beautiful Adirondacks, right? Adirondacks. All right. And I take out transparent because I don't need that. I'm going to find this great picture of somewhere in the Adirondacks. And it could be your backyard. It could be whatever you've got. And I'm going to click and drag the picture in, or I'm going to highlight it and hit insert. It doesn't like that image for whatever reason. Let me pick a different one. So maybe this one. All right. I hit insert and it's going to bring it in. Supposedly. There it goes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer it on top of that window. And I could have done it the opposite way. I could have done the picture first and then the window. It doesn't really matter which order you do it, because you can always rearrange it. And I'm going to cut it into the shape of the window. All right. Now I'm going to want this to go to the back because I want the window in front of it. So I'm going to click on arrange, order, send to back. And now it looks like if you look out my window, I'm right on this beautiful lake or pond or wherever it happens to be. And who doesn't want that view out their window, right? So you can do that kind of thing. You can also bring in animated GIFs. So if I go out to Google, all right, and I put in, let's say I want a clock. All right, I'm going to go into images. I'm going to click on tools. I'm going to click on type, and I'm going to click on GIF. When I do that, I'm going to get all of these clocks that have motion, but maybe I want a fancier clock. So I'm going to actually put in old, like I want an old-fashioned fancy clock. There we go, but I'm still in GIF, all right? But I also need it to be transparent because I don't want to have to worry about a background. So I'm going to have to do 3 different layers here, right? So now I click on this image and I look at it and I'm like, oh, this is great. Maybe this is the one I want on my wall, all right? So I'm going to right-click on that image and I'm going to click copy image address. When I do that and I come back into my Bitmoji, I'm going to click back on that insert image, but instead of searching from here, I'm going to say by URL. When I do that and I paste it in, I'm going to get that image to be able to insert it. All right. And then I'm going to put this over the fireplace. Is it moving? There it goes. All right. So now when I put it in present mode, all right, this actually has some life to it, right? It's tick, tick, ticking as it's going on the wall. If I don't like it, I could change it out, right? This one has kind of that white edge around it. So what I would do is actually crop the image into a circle. And then I would double click and drag in the edges a little bit to get rid of that little bit along the edge. And that's just me being nitpicky. And then maybe there, I've got it without that. So when I go back and I hit present, I still got it, but I cut out some of that white background that kind of gave it a weird look. All right. And you can continue to layer whatever you're doing. So maybe I want some plants, transparent background, because who doesn't want some you know, greeneries. Maybe I need to add potted. All right. And then if I find one I like, click, drag it out. This one has a background, so I'm just going to delete it for now. If I really wanted it, I would do all those steps again to kind of, you know, grab it back and do whatever I wanted to do with it. All right, going to move it down a little bit, maybe up a little bit. And you just kind of have to play with it so you get it exactly how you want it. And this is where you kind of like, this is where the time waster part comes in, because you spend a lot of time making sure it's exactly where you want it to be. If you find your boxes are in the way, like the Bitmoji boxes come up really big, double click on her image and then just drag them in till you've cropped around her, and it's gonna give you more space to be able to work.
Could you show us how you got the URL for the GIF again?
Sure. So I'm coming out here, and let's see, what else would I might want? So maybe I want a dog. All right. So I'm going to put in dog. I'm going to put in transparent. And I've got these different images on here. So
where did you tell it? Where did you tell it that you wanted GIFs?
So okay,
so
in tools, you got to go into tools and then click on any from any type, switch it over to GIF. All right. And let's see, I want this little doggy here. He's cute. Okay, so I'm going to right click on there, copy image address. So I right clicked on the image, copy image address. All right, and then I'm going to go back over to my picture. I'm going to click insert, and then I'm going to click image by URL. And then right click to paste that in, hit insert. And now I've got this walking dog, although that might look a little weird. I might want to put him on a treadmill or something since he's, you know, walking but not getting anywhere. So that's how you would do it. Let's pick a different one. What is this one doing? He's got a wiggle butt. How about this guy? Oh, he's cute. Maybe he's going to peek over the couch, right? So I'm going to right click on him, copy image address. All right, I'm going to click on insert image by URL, paste it in, hit insert, and I'm going to shrink him down. I'm going to put him behind the couch. So what I'm going to do is leave him right there.
Oh yeah, super cute. Yeah,
it is cute. So who doesn't love a little puppy dog having a little fun back there, right?
That's really awesome, Lori. That turned out really great. Like,
yeah.
I can tell the more you play with this, the more the easier it is to go through and make selections on what's going to work and what's not going to work.
Yeah.
But I can see you've put a lot of time into searching for what's going to work.
Yeah, and if it doesn't work, you delete it and start again. I mean, it really is one of those things you kind of just play around until you find it. And then you start to have favorites. Now, one of the things that some teachers do that's really helpful is you know that you have all the space around your slides to put different things. So let's say you know that you wanted, you know, plants, but you want to get them all at the same time, right? So we're here and we've got these different plants and you could drag a whole bunch of ones in. So I'm just going to grab a couple here. All right, so I've dragged these images in. I can slide them out away from my image itself and just store them above or next to. All right, and what that does is it creates these little places. Let me get this one out of the way too. Here we go. Come on. It'll create this extra space that you can store these images to be. So I'm storing them all. If this one does not like to drag. Here we go. And then if I use the scroll bar, I've got all these items up here. I can resize them and just keep them off the screen as ones that maybe I want to use. Oh, that's what it was. I had two that were like attached. That's why I was having problems with it. But you can store all the ones you want up here and then just pull them down. And then they're always available to you to be able to grab and pull into your image and then put it wherever you'd like. So you can say, oh, I want this one here, whatever it happens to be. So you can create these little things that, you know, kind of like layer it and then decide which one you want. Or you have different ones for different seasons, but you don't want to lose it. Store them up here so they're out of the way. You know, it's a nice, easy way to do it there. All right, so what questions do you have as we're going through here? I lost you. There you are. Okay. What program do you use to make your image that is more realistic cartoon version of me? Oh, you mean the one I use for, that one was made for me from Bunsey. The one I use a lot of times on my, my business cards and stuff. Yeah, that's a different one. The folder with the templates. So yeah, if you go to the slide deck that I gave you, it's the Google Drive resource folder. That's where you're going to find all of these templates that, and I don't own any of these. They're just ones that people did. Like, I mean, this Target one cracks me up. I love this one because, you know, that's where I want to be, right? I want to be in Target. So, so how cool is this one that somebody designed for me? All I have to do is put my Bitmoji in it. and I'm ready to go. All right. So with this one, again, before you do anything on it, make a file and make your own copy. Don't edit mine. All right. So that way, I keep this one clean. That's my only request for anything that's in here is if you have editing rights, don't edit the original. This one I thought was great because they did their whole morning work and all of the links are on here. So you just take this from your student or send this to your students. And then on the second one, she has elements that are available to you, like the disco ball. I've totally used that one. That's out here somewhere. Where do I have the disco ball one? I did the disco ball one for one of the things I was showcasing. This one. Was it Bitmoji Scenes that I did it in? Yeah, look at this. How fun is that? Right? I grabbed a disco ball. I put myself dancing. I changed the background. So what I did here is I took that same background that I'm using on one of the other ones. So on this background, but then I layered an image that covered the whole background. So it looked like it was kind of like the wallpaper or the backdrop. And then, you know, I found this cute one of the jukebox, put myself dancing, a couple of those little ones that I created using Unscreen. I found a GIF of a disco ball, and then I found a GIF of these lights, and I layered the lights over the top. One of the things I had to do with the lights, though, if I can grab them, when I went into format options, I had to adjust the transparency. So you go to drop shadow, and you thicken or you thin out the transparency depending on what you want it to look like. So I had to play around with that a little bit to kind of give it a different layered effect. But when you put it in present, I thought it looked kind of fun because it takes away the fact that the lights are just down there and adds this little light to it that looks like it's reflecting off the disco ball. So it's just a fun way to kind of do that with your Bitmoji. So these are available to you too. I have all these slides in if you want to use them. And then you can grab them from there. That's all in that folder for you.
Lori, where is this folder?
So I sent you the slide deck, and I put it in the link again. It's on slide 8 is a link to the folder.
Oh,
yep. And these are all ones that I found from different people. That one's not, oh, wrong folder. I'm not in the folder. That's why I'm like, wait, that should be in the folder. And then for the Bitmoji folder, I put some different things on top. I put some different emojis on the beginning so that way it stays at the top for you. But you can see all the different ways that you can use it. Some teachers are incredibly creative. The Starbucks one is really great. I love that one too. It's in one of them. It's around. So sometimes finding them is hard. But if I go in, maybe I called it Starbucks. Nope, that's not it. All right, well, I'll find it and make sure it's in there for you. But there's some really great ones here. You know, the librarians are really having fun with these, and why not? These are perfect. Where they've got the books that they're reading. They have all their links to their Zooms, the activities that they're going to do, information about them. I mean, they're just so incredibly creative. Here's a virtual tour of a children's museum. So they click on different levels and it takes them to different things for them to see, different videos. So how cool is that for you to send out to your students to be able to go on these little scavenger hunts on your images. The breakout escape rooms. I mean, the Harry Potter one, I'll put that one in. That one's not there either. But this one is help the teacher find the coffee, right? So how many of us have lost our coffee in a classroom? So she can't find her coffee mug. And as they click through, let me put it in present mode. As they click through and they click on things, it takes them out to a cute little video.
You found a picture. First letter of this picture is in the word.
So she gives a little clue, and then when they think they found all of the images, they click on the Google form, and off they go to answer to see if they've answered the clue right. So how cute is this? It's a cute little breakout room. Each thing will bring it out to a little video.
Right. Try again.
So she did a lot of linking with videos and things for that one. Any last questions as we're finishing up? We got about 10 minutes together. Rugs. Yeah. So you're right. I forgot about how hard those could be. All right. So let's go out here to the one I've been working on here. So I've got this one here. I want to put a carpet in there. I got that cute little dog. So rug transparent is going to give you your best search, or you can do carpet transparent. So I love this brown rug. I use this one a lot because it's just easy to layer. So I'm going to grab it. All right. I'm going to click on arrange, order, send to back. All right, and then I got to adjust it down because, oops, I grabbed her. Let's move her out of the way for a minute. I got to adjust it down so that it, you know, it looks like it's only on the floor. So I'm just going to keep dragging it down until I get it where I want it to go. All right, and I'll move her back. All right, and then I've got that carpet there. So when I go into present mode, there, I've got a carpet. I don't care that the rest of it is off the screen. It doesn't matter because when I go to put this in present mode, it's fine. I probably would change it so it's not under the hearth because that wouldn't happen, right? So I'd move that over a little bit more, but that's just me being picky. Now, let's say I don't want it brown. I can go up to format options. All right, instead of using that size and rotation where I flipped it, I'm going to go down to recolor. And in the recolor, I can pick any of the ones it gives me, and it gives me some random ones. I don't know how it picks which colors to do, but I can pick whichever one I want to change the color of the carpet to whatever I'd like it to be. All right, so then you can recolor that one, and it really makes it more your own. So that when I put it back in present, that brown rug is now a gray, and I can keep it any way I'd like it to be, right? So, good question. Let's see what other questions you guys put in. Can you share the folders of info you have in your drive when you us earlier to make sure to make copies? Yeah, it's on the slide deck, but I can just do that. Hang on. Share. Copy link. You should only have view only on it, but if something gives you editing rights, please make a copy. For your students, there's a Bitmoji-like site. Yeah, Pixton, where you can create comics. Yeah, you can also create your avatar well, Facebook has one. I have an app on my phone. It's called, what is it called? My Avatar, My Talking Avatar. And that one's great for creating avatars. They're a little more lifelike, a little bit more, I don't know. They're not as cutesy, put it that way. They're a little bolder that you can use, and you can voice over those as well. Yeah, I gave you the templates. I just gave those to you again. So show us how you would create a link to student work. So let's say if I was on this collaborative board and I wanted to click on the clock and add something to it. So maybe I wanted to add a sheet on telling time, because how many kids could really tell time on that clock, right? So I'm going to insert a link, and I'm going to put in whatever it is I want it to be in that link. So it could be a link to something in your Google Drive folder. It could be a link to another slide in the presentation. Whatever it is you want to insert in, you can insert that in as your link. So let's say, I mean, this is so not what I wanted, but let's say I wanted to link the clock to this this schedule that this great person created, right? I'm going to hit share, copy that link, and then I'm going to click on the image I want to share. I want to link it to, insert link, oops, and paste it in and hit apply. And now that link stays on that clock. So all the students would do is click on it and off they would go there. Good question. The folder, I just clicked the folder again. It looks like Maureen did too. Thank you. Perfect. Can you show how you get the image to remove background? Yeah. So I'm just going to go out to Google Photos just to make it easy. But Google Photos, or Google Images rather, sorry. Google Photos is totally something different. I'm going to go out here and I'm going to search for a dog because that one was so cute. All right, now let's say, and I always try to go to tools and usage rights and labeled for reuse because, you know, it's just safer that way. And I have a shepherd at home, so maybe I want this cute little shepherd here. All right, I'm going to right click and save this image. German Shepherd dog with disc works perfect for me. I'm going to save, and it's going to go down on my toolbar at the bottom. I'm going to go to remove.bg. And I'm going to click and drag that image in. And it is going to change that one to the dog with still having that disc. Now I can take out the disc. If I decide I don't want it, I can click on edit. I'm going to go over to erase and restore. And I'm going to just click and hold my mouse down to be able to remove this. Let's say by accident I cut off the legs and I need it. I can click on restore and I can take the brush strokes and pull those back as well. All right, and you would do it until you're happy with it. And then once you are happy with it, you'd hit download and save it. So I'd have to work on that one a little while longer. All right, any last questions? How do you take the end table from slides? Oh, so now that we're in here, all right, so let's say I'm going to go over to somebody else's. Let's say I wanted this end table that somebody else put in. I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to control copy. I'm going to go over to my slide. All right, I'm going to do control V or command V, and I'm going to paste it in. And maybe I want to put this table behind me here. I'm going to hit arrange, order, send to back. And now I've got that table behind me. And maybe I like it twice. So I could hit control D or command D to duplicate it. And then I can click and put one on the other side as well. Arrange, order, send to back. And now when I put it in present mode, it'll look like they have some end tables on either side. I might want to change that a little bit on that one, just because the carpet's not layered right. I might want to relayer that carpet to the back. So that way the table sits on there a little bit. So you kind of play around till you get those layers right as you're organizing it and going through. Good question.
I meant when you did that end table and the remove back,
yes,
you dragged it from the slides and put it into the remove back. You didn't do another Google search, did you?
No. So what I did with that one, what I did was, I'm trying to remember where I was. So let's say I grabbed a table here. Let me do it this way. Table. I don't know if I'll find that one again, but let's say, does this one have I have to take out the word transparent. So let's take out this. And let's see, what would be one? Let's say I wanted this table, this workbench kind of thing, and it has a background. What I did is you could either save the whole thing as an image, or I hit Shift Control 3, which takes an image, the whole thing, Shift Control 4, and I just took a picture.
Okay.
Yep. And then it saves it right to my desktop for me, and I did it that way. There's other ways to do it. You could do it from Google search. You could make it your background and download it as an image. However you want to do it, you can certainly do it that way, whatever way works for you. And there's several different ways to do it. Yep, perfect. All right, any other questions as we finish up today? I hear you taking pictures. That's awesome. All right, stop presenting. I'm gonna stop the recording. And then thank you all for coming. I will stay on the line for a couple minutes. I have another